Even though New Dawn takes place in Far Cry 5's setting of Hope County, there are significant changes that make a pretty good case for this being a standalone entry in the series. First up, this is Far Cry's take on the post-apocalyptic shooter, but it's one that resists so many of the cliches you might associate with that setting. Spoilers, but at the end of Far Cry 5, Joseph Seed and his religious cult detonate a series of nuclear bombs across the northern hemisphere, plunging the world into a nuclear winter. But New Dawn doesn't take place in an irradiated wasteland. Instead, it takes place 17 years later. A lack of human interference, combined with a natural phenomenon known as superbloom, and the familiar setting of Hope County, has become even more beautiful. Full of vegetation and a fine dust that resembles sand, this is the post-apocalyptic setting you want to visit on your holidays. Yes, this is still the Hope County map from Far Cry 5, but it's been heavily transformed. Not only is it now full of lush vegetation, the shifting nuclear dust has reshaped the map. Some places have disappeared, while others might be partially buried or severely run down, or even adapted by survivors into something entirely new. If the idea of returning to Hope County still doesn't do it for you, New Dawn has a series of expeditions. These are a new mission type which see you board a helicopter and travel to an entirely distinct part of the USA. The setup is the same each time. You need to get in, extract a package, and get out. Since they're entirely separate to the game's open world, these expeditions can boost the game's visuals and up the number of enemies on screen. The best way to think about them is as a giant outpost, with each one existing on a map roughly 1 kilometer square. But it's the variety of those settings that make them feel like one of New Dawn's main attractions. In fact, one of the missions is even set in a dilapidated theme park located in the bayou. While we couldn't find out an exact number of expeditions, you can glimpse some of the settings in New Dawn's first trailer. We also got the game's director to confirm that one of them is Alcatraz. Hopefully that means you can recreate this bit from The Rock. Far Cry does a good villain, and to up the ante, New Dawn introduces 2 of them. Sisters Mickey and Lou are the leaders of the Highwaymen. Essentially, they're the pirates of the post-apocalypse, bleeding settlements dry of resources. I wasn't told much more about them, except they killed their own father to assume control of the gang. So yeah, they're wrong-uns. While the trailer also teases Joseph Seed's presence, the game's director wouldn't really say much more about his involvement, but I get the sense that maybe he's no longer quite convinced he did the right thing all those years ago. In this new world of survival, outposts are now replayable in a way that makes sense to the setting. Every time you claim one, you can choose to either take it over and use it to produce ethanol, the most valuable resource in the future, or you can scavenge it for a quick payout, but this leaves it vacant and vulnerable, and the Highwaymen will eventually take back control. If this happens, the outpost will become more heavily fortified. You can take each one back 3 times, with escalating rewards. It's 17 years after Far Cry 5, and I hate to break it to you like this, but Boomer is dead. Instead, expect plenty of new faces, along with some familiar ones too. New guns for hire will include Carmina, the daughter of Nick and Kim Rai from the last game, and Nana, a senior citizen sniper. But more importantly, there'll be 2 new fangs for hire. Timber, an Akita who you can take out in a sidecar, Wallace and Gromit style, and Horatio, a giant slobbering boar who loves to gouge baddies. In retrospect, I probably should have started this list feature with Horatio.